Hi everyone, this is Elio from Empower Hospitality. Today we are back, we are live, we are in Norway from Mondosol headquarters. We have a session full of guests today. We still have our team. We have Alberto, and then we have a very special guest today. I'm gonna announce in a moment. We have also the rest of Mondosol team watching, listening, chatting. So if you're listening right now, thank you very much. We'll be talking to you on Facebook. You can just write your comment. You can ask any question about the topic, empower hospitality and home sharing. The saga continues. We are on season 2, episode 7. Today it's about guest management. So we're gonna talk about, how to manage a guest when the guest is in the property. Ciao Maria Grazia, my teacher, la professoressa Brolia, my teacher in high school. Alberto, like I said, it's on board. I'm gonna pass it over to Alberto, and then I'm gonna announce the special guest of today. Is a property owner working with Mondosol now for a while. He's actually here because of another Mondosol team member, Jose, which I say hello and thank you, and it's a friend of Alberto. Alberto, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. Well, did we get a good episode for everybody? And I just want to say that actually, it's a good time to bring this up because I was just talking to a friend of mine who I recently found out is doing Airbnb rentals, and I had no clue. I had no clue. We just started talking to each other, and then he started telling me about all the hassles he has and all the time it takes away from his day, having to run it back and forth and having to deal with guests because he has so much going on. He has a wife, a kid, he has two other businesses, and just takes up so much time. And I just really started thinking, like, wow, it's kind of sad how we want to do this short-term rental. We want to help people, give people great experiences, but how much of our day is being taken away, and how much we get stressed out. And having a course like this, an opportunity to learn how to automate that and just make it much easier and just more beneficial to the property owner, just makes it so much better. So I'll take it back to you, Elio.
Yes, Alberto, it was great introduction. I checked, the sound is awesome. You're looking awesome. Thank you very much. We should have soon our special guest. I hope he's still there. He didn't have any problem. I was just checking right now. Oliver, are you there? Yes, I can. So here we are announcing our special guest, Oliver. Oliver is a very young property owner of a very nice, fresh apart hotel in Florida, in United States. So it's a great pleasure to have you here. You want to tell everyone listening to today's show, Empower Hospitality, what's your story?
Thank you very much, Elio. I really appreciate this. It'll be an honor to tell you my experiences and my workflow and how I go about my day from day to day, and to guest management, and to enlighten you. So, thank you very much, Elio. Let me start with my work experience. I first got my start when I was 25 years old to be a manager, operations manager of a Marriott, which had about 250 rooms. And then working there day and night, learning the ins and outs about the hotel business, the backbone of the business, and also the front end of the business also helped me greatly. Learning about checking in a guest and also checking out a guest, operations manager of a Marriott, which had about 250 rooms. And then working there day and night, learning the ins and outs about the hotel business, the backbone. So, anyways, the services of
I'm not sure we are hearing you, Oliver, right now. So you were saying that you come from Marriott. So you're coming from one of the giant, one of the dinosaur of hospitality, the Mr. Marriott. Well, I have a lot of respect for Marriott. I've been in Marriott before when I was in United States. I really like their level of hospitality. It's great service. Oliver, are you still there? I think we lost Oliver. I hope he will come back. And I'm going to pass it over to Alberto, that he was going to tell us a very interesting story about his friend having an Airbnb. Alberto, why don't you tell a little bit more about your friend? I mean, where is he from? What is this Airbnb? What it's all about? Oh, I don't hear you. How come?
I'm sorry about that. I had myself muted.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Please go
Okay.
ahead. Where is your friend?
All right. So my friend, he's located in Dallas, just like I am. He lives in the same apartment complex that I do. We actually met each other because we go to the gym and we both go to these high intensity classes. And one day we just started got talking, and then he brought up to me how he does real estate, and we got up together today actually to go talk some more. And he just told me, hey, I have an Airbnb property. Oh, I think Oliver's back, Elio.
Oliver is back. Let me see if Oliver is back. Oliver, are you back?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
Now,
amazing.
yes, now it's both me and Alberto who can talk. Okay. But anyway, you were telling your story, and you said you work for Marriott. What have you done
Yeah.
for Marriott?
Yeah, so at Marriott was a lot of experience to do with the morning shifts, evening shifts, late night shifts, like doing the audit. My experiences with the check-ins were very important because it's their first appearance, it's their first person that represents the hotel, and if the person is not nice, if the person does not deliver what the guests want, after all, this is people want things and they need things, so you have to please them to make them come back. So learning how they are, their style, how how they act, is very important. It's important for the host of the hotel to dress properly, be well groomed, to speak very well. And I learned a lot from that, and I wasn't like that. But by working for Marriott, working all these shifts there, I learned greatly how to respect the person, how to represent yourself and your business 100%. So yeah, I worked in the hotel. Yes.
It's very, very important, yes, to represent the company and be yourself, but at the same time, serve the guest. So today it's about guest management. So your story is actually about guest management.
Yes. So from checking in a guest to learning their wants and needs, you have to really pay attention and remember, call them by their first or last name. Remember what they like their temperature set at in their room. If they like a certain restaurant, to call them and make a reservation for them. It's all about service and paying attention to what your guests want. And then if you can nail that, you're going to have them coming back over and over. And my hotel, when I first started, when I bought it, it wasn't a 5-star hotel. It wasn't, it had a lot of issues that I had to rectify. And but people, even then, I showed them 100% service and attention to them every single time, from the phone call to when they check in, while they're here, and even during the checkout. That I am there for them. I am willing to speak to them, get whatever they want, find out whatever they want, and just look it up and just do it for them, because that service goes very, very far into having them keep coming back. And it's very important. The check-in process is important. You have to make sure, even before the guest comes, that the hotel room is clean, that your housekeepers are doing a good job, that they're using the right products to clean the rooms, that they're checking every crevice, every corner of the room, making sure everything works. So it's up to me to go into the rooms and do that. When you have a lot of rooms, I only have 30 rooms and about to be expanding to 50 rooms probably within the next year. And it's
Oh, wow.
important for either, yeah. And it's important for myself to really either me delegate, who's going to check the rooms to make sure it's good for my guests, because I don't want to look bad. If a guest comes in and keeps coming back, he expects a certain level of cleanliness. His expectations are going to have to be met if he's a repeat customer. And it's very important, very, very, very important to do that, because it's just like the Marriott's. Every room across the world has its same checkpoints, and they all are identical. So the management there is very good system they have, and I'm glad I got the Marriott experience. And my presence here at the hotel is greatly, shows an impact on the hotel success. I'm here about 10 to 12 hours most days, about 6 to 7 days a week I'm here. And I'm here and I'm delegating my housekeepers, my handyman. If I have to call outside sources, I'm on top of it with phone calls, pricing. You always have to have a budget for whatever you're doing. So you have to price, you have to call people, you have to know who's going to do the work, and stay on top of it. Staying on top of it, repairs, renovations, at the same time of getting the guests checked out of the hotel and getting the room cleaned up for another guest coming in. So you have to move fast. You have to be on top of things, and getting the guest experience to its highest level.
Sure. Yeah. So your story is basically you're coming from Marriott, so one of the best in the hospitality industry. Actually,
Sure.
I just wanted to touch base and say we as Mondosol are gonna be in London 31st of October on the Host 2019 event, the biggest event in Europe this year. And we're going to represent you as well, Oliver, since you cannot come, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
in this event, it's going to be Marriott there as well, and Hilton and Accor. So the three biggest chain hotel in the world. They're gonna come, and actually they have a conference, and the conference title is "What's the hotel chain or the hotel giants are gonna bring to the table to the home sharing industry?" Do you want to touch base real quick on this, because you come from hotel, you have
Yes.
opened an hotel, but it's more like apartment. So
Right.
you are mixing the two things, the hotel industry and the home sharing, or the apartment, the short-term rental.
Yes. Well, okay. So coming from the hotel to doing that, it's all about making money, making revenue. So if you have the opportunity, and especially in a good area like Fort Lauderdale Beach, you're going to have rentals. You're going to have people always interested. So why not try to rent it, right? So I decided to tie in both of those. I own an apartment building also, and I'm always doing, managing that, also renting that out, making the best use of it, and doing it the same thing with the hotel. I mean, there's some nights that you're not going to sell all the rooms. It's impossible every single night. So why not create something that people in other markets and other revenue streams that you want to use, that can create that, and you can take the full use of your property and turn it into apartments and rent them out, right?
Yes, that's right. Okay, so you said about your past, your story, and your present. You just touched base a little bit about your future. I don't know about your time, how much time you have left, but I would like you to talk about your future, and then if we have some more time, also to discuss about how you acquire your property, because the season 2 of the Empower Show, it's about people who want to enter the game. So it would be very interesting to know how you started this hotel, the
Sure.
Ocean Mile in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, sure, Elio. So my future, God willing, let's see if my plan works, is I'd like to be big like Marriott one day, but I also want to enjoy life. And getting like the Marriott, it involves so much stuff with the stock market, acquiring real estate, having a lot of money, and leveraging properties, and it's a lot of work. So I also want to enjoy life. But my future is acquiring another hotel, maybe of the same size or a little bit bigger, and running with it, doing the same thing I did over here, using my past experience to grow.
Okay. Okay. Now, how did you acquire your first
Uh,
property?
he left the room, Elio.
Oh, you left the room.
Yeah.
Oh, going back to you, Alberto. So let's talk
Okay.
about your friend from Dallas.
Yeah. So my friend, apparently he was already doing Airbnb rentals before the one he has right now, but he had a problem. He was actually doing really well. He was making pretty good money. I forgot in which area he had it in. Okay, Oliver's back.
But you can continue a little bit, and then we pass it over to Oliver. Oliver,
No, that's
just a
fine.
moment.
I'm not sure how much time Oliver has, so let's make the best use of it.
Oliver, are you there? I don't. Yes, you're there. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we
So
can hear
going
you.
back to you, how did you acquire the property?
Yes, so I acquired the property by actually just driving to different hotels and asking owners if they're willing to sell. So I came across a few hotels and I made some offers. And this one, particularly Ocean Mile Hotel, was up for sale about 2 years ago on the market, but I acquired it off the market. And it's a lot of negotiating, a lot of things you have to really think about, such as making your mortgage, paying your property taxes, getting customers in there, and if it can make sense. And it did. So I went there and I acquired it by, first getting an SBA loan. I told them about my experience. I put some money down, which I had for a while, and I just decided to put it down as a down payment for this hotel. And it was very scary. I must admit, a lot of nights I couldn't sleep before. I was like, what am I doing? Is this the right decision? What happens if I fail? Worst case scenario, it's real estate. And if you were going to fail, okay, then sell the hotel, try to make a little money on it, and then you'll have a little money in your pocket and you can go invest into something else if it's not right for you. But I just trusted my gut and then went straight for it. Went straight for it into working. The first year I worked 7 days a week, 365 days a year for over a little over a year. So it took a lot of work. It took a lot of hours being here, pleasing guests, renovating, and doing the same repetitive thing every day. But the thing is it's not boring. It's fun because it's different people. It's a different task you have to tackle, a different project, whether it be with a computer or computer related problem or installing a light in a bathroom or fixing a toilet. So you have a lot of different things every day. So to acquire is you just have to be ready. You have to be ready for it. You can't think about it too much because it's overall it's just a business that you either fails or you're going to succeed. So you have to just try it. And if you're really good at it, just give it a shot because 9 out of 10 times you're going to be successful. If you put in the time and you think about it, you're going to make it. So I think it's something that I had the guts to do, and I was really scared. And it worked. I've been here for 5 years, and I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life because I noticed that I can do this. I can do this for a 50-room property. I can do it for another property, just by hiring more help and hiring great help that can really make you succeed and move forward. So with that said, I think my future is going to be pretty good in this. I'm going to be involved in different types of real estate developments, hotels, apartment buildings. So
Wow.
I think Yeah,
Wow, Oliver, I just gonna say this. What a
sure.
great story and mindset. Because I heard you said it all. You were scared, you've been preparing for a long time, you had put aside some money,
Yeah,
you have talked with the right people, you got some help from the bank, you came in, but then night came and the doubts together didn't let
yeah,
you sleep, and then you were keep thinking, have I done a mistake, is this the right thing for me? And basically, just by doing it, you said 365 days a year,
yeah,
so
yeah.
basically day in and day out with non-stop, you prove yourself right, and now you're challenging yourself to scale, to go to the next
Sure.
level.
Yes, yes. It takes a lot of time to get there, but I did it.
So
I, I did it in a
you,
pretty short time.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very
And,
much.
and you're very young as well, kind of like Alberto and Jose. You want to say the
Yeah,
story with Jose, and then yeah, let's talk about Jose because he's a friend of Alberto, and Alberto
yeah.
and Jose are a friend of mine.
Nice. Oh, very good. Yeah. Well, Jose is now a friend of mine also, and we speak like at least once a week, sometimes more than that. But when he was working in this area, he used to come over here a lot, and we used to hang out. But Jose just came in here, and he said, "I stayed at this hotel before, and it was a really nice hotel, and he really liked it." And he was just like, was like, "I need to leave a nice review." So I said, "Oh, that's awesome, man! I'm glad you experienced, a good time over here, and I was able to have you stay here and be comfortable, and stay and be happy." So he was like, I can help you. I can help you grow. I can help you. So he hooked me up with Elio, and just being on Airbnb, he helped me think a lot and grow a lot about getting bigger, increasing my volume of people coming back, making reservations all the time, so Jose was really instrumental in that way. He really made me look at it a different way and try to move forward. And, he's been a really good guy. He's a really good guy. He's really friendly. He talks to a lot of people. He knows what he's talking about. So he's really good guy, really cool to work with also.
Yes, yes. I gotta say big thanks to Jose and to you, Oliver. Unfortunately, Jose couldn't be here today or is not so present anymore because I don't know if I can say, but he joined the Grant Cardone company, which is very famous in US. For the people who don't know Grant Cardone, you just need to Google or YouTube. And he's a very big in real estate. He's a salesman. He has a sales background, and Jose has also a sales background. I met Jose and Alberto in my latest course, the latest course I've done. I do a lot of courses during the years, and the course was made by a company called Tai Lopez. Tai Lopez, another famous YouTuber, social media influencer, entrepreneur. Yes, Alberto really likes Tai Lopez, and I like it. I like him too. The story of Tai Lopez is mind blowing. No, this guy who comes from nothing and then build up kind of an empire, but most of all, it's based on knowledge. I think I heard Oliver saying, "I learned this industry. There was so much I needed to know." So knowledge is
Yes.
power. Yes. And so I know Alberto as well is very fan of knowledge. He wants to teach. I know Alberto as well as Jose, they were together with me in this course. Alberto would like to continue his passion about teaching. And Oliver, do you have
Yeah.
to go or do you have some minutes you can stay more?
Yeah, I have a few more minutes. Yeah, that's not a problem. I can stick around.
You can stick around
I
because
have a question for you, Oliver.
go
Yeah,
ahead,
sure.
Alberto.
So you were saying that Jose really helped you to think bigger, right? Like he said, "Hey, man, you can make this bigger. You can increase the volume. You can have more people come in." Before you had that conversation with Jose, what would you say your mindset was at? Like, what were you thinking before that?
My mindset was, it wasn't so forward thinking. It was like more like staying stagnant at where I'm at now and just relying on my customers from Expedia, Booking.com, Priceline, and word of mouth people. I didn't think about putting this property on Airbnb, and it's done pretty well. I'm happy with it. And the first thing Jose told me to do is I need to make my presence online better by taking new pictures. So he got a photographer come here, took a picture of not only the hotel, but he went to Lauderdale by the Sea, where it's a very popular area with shops, restaurants, a fishing pier, lots of very family friendly place. So he started by taking photographs of that, the hotel, and the nearby areas, and posted them online. So when people see where the hotel is located, they're looking. They can see the area. They're not looking just at the hotel. You're selling the area. So he made me think that, and then just being very being very cool and calm, and really really like service oriented to the customers. Just being like really like natural, not being fake. Like just being natural at talking. And Jose is so calm when he talks, and it's a gift he has, and it's you have to be like that to if you're dealing with people in the masses.
Hmm.
So I think it was pretty good. He made me think in a bigger scale. So
Yeah,
I was,
yeah, he has that effect on people. That's
yeah,
great though. That's great about like the photos. I saw your listing, I saw the photos, and I gotta say, like when I look at it, I really feel like I could see myself there. I'm not just looking
yeah,
at a room, I'm not just looking at furniture. I'm looking at a possible like experience that I can have that I can realistically afford.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're selling not just the hotel, but the surroundings, the atmosphere, and people want to be comfortable in an area. If you have a nice hotel in the desert and there's nothing to do there, people say nice hotel but horrible location. So location is key also into selling your property. If you're not in a good area, it's going to be tough to attract people.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Very interesting. I mean, I'm
yeah,
very, very happy to hear you guys talking about photography and
yeah,
hearing that it's not just about buildings, it's about people. This is a people to people business. Um,
yeah.
I wanna just say this about the technology coming into the industry in hospitality, because for example in London in host 2019, in the event where Mondosol is invited, we're gonna represent your property, Oliver, together with others, and we're gonna have also a conference. But there are companies and public speaker talking about technologies, and a lot of it is automation, how to do everything without people. And there are even hotels that have came into a situation where basically the guests are coming and leaving without meeting anyone. The check-in and check-out is automatic with this locker. And Darnell was just messaging me now on Facebook. Hi, Darnell. It's also a friend of mine, Alberto and Jose. And Darnell is also a property manager in Georgia.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about technology and hospitality? Are you a big fan of technology? Would you leave your hotel to just technology? I mean, no people meeting guests and assisting guests, and just maybe on call, and then everything is done with automation.
Okay. Yeah. So the reason why people go by automation electronic system is ultimately to save on their payroll. They don't want to pay per a person to be there. So it's just like the airports, how they've cut down a lot on the check-in. Now, I, as an owner, at the hotel and a main person here that people know as to check them in and the go-getter for everything here. I think it's a great idea. And I think if we can, especially for after hours, I'm not here after 10 o'clock at night. And some people may come in at 12, 2, 5 o'clock in the morning, and someone's got to be there. And say for a person like me, when you're sleeping, your sleep is very, very important, especially if you work these long hours. And you have to put a smile on your face. You have to greet the same person. You should show the same exact treatment to everyone, no matter if you like them or not. It's very important too. So I think the technology, if you can have a express check-in or a machine dispensary where it takes credit card payments, where it can drop a key and activate a room to be opened, I think that's awesome. I already thought about it, and I would put it in my hotel. I would definitely do it. I would even have a vending machine that has shampoo, soap, towels for people who wanted it. And what they would do is probably put in a chip or something as a deposit to get the towel, and then in the morning or something, collect the chip or deposit, whatever it is, and then they would then you would get back the money or whatever deposit was for a towel if it's after hours. And there's a lot of hotels turning that way, and I think it's a great idea, and I think it will help the hotel industry. But I also think the hotel industry is it's a personal touch. So you do need a person. So if you have a 200-room hotel and you have something like that, I think you at least need one person there, just in case of a malfunction, just in case a guest needs another request that cannot be answered by a machine. So I'm for it. Let's create it.
you will basically go for the technology instead of the people, right?
I prefer people more because I prefer to have a person there just in case of a malfunction or something goes haywire, or you need another request and you need a taxi service and you're at the hotel. Okay, you checked in, but now you need to go downtown. How do you get there if you don't have a car? Or your phone's, your phone for whatever reason's dead, and you need someone somehow to get help. So a person is always better. I am for technology, but I think it needs to be a mixture of both.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Alberto?
I agree that having both is good. You need technology is just helping making things much more easier, much more automated, just makes things much more efficient. However, like the hotel industry or hotel industry, you need people there. You need people to make people feel welcomed. Sometimes people don't like to just walk inside a place that's just filled by machines. We kind of like to have somebody smiling, greeting us when we walk in the doorway, or somebody to talk to. When we get there, we visit from another location. We don't know anybody. And if we don't have that person, that human connection, it feels like we're disconnected. So I definitely think having someone there and having a combination of the two would really help.
I think so too. I think it's always good to have both. We just have to oversee it because technology can, fall off the grid, and then the guest is left helpless. So
yeah. Technology is not perfect just yet. It always has its little kinks.
Yeah, it always will. It always needs maintenance, and just check up on it. I think it's a good idea, though, just like the electric cars. But you need a person actually in the driver's seat just in case of a malfunction. So, yeah, but a car doesn't need the personal touch as a hotel needs the TLC, the tender, the loving, and the caring of the guest. So the machine does not have emotion.
The Japanese will disagree with you, Oliver.
Oh, Japanese.
The Japanese, they're on a different level of technology. They're too advanced for us here.
They are too advanced. Yes. Once I heard a story from Microsoft, a futurist, someone who predict the future. That's his job in Microsoft. And he said in 2030 or 2050, the jobs that will still be alive are like electrician and plumbers, and a lot of other jobs will be replaced by machine and robot.
I
And
agree.
they were talking about, for example, care, health, like hospital nurses, doctors. They will be replaced, at least in Japan, in Asia, by humanoids, by computers,
Oh,
and
wow.
maybe not in Europe or Western countries, US, because we have a different religion, but definitely in Asia, that's a possibility where humanoids, robots are basically replacing humans.
Right.
Okay. Now I just don't know where we are gonna go into this, because Japanese are funny people. There are 90 million people in a small land. They are going everywhere in the world, and then there are almost other 7 billions. So I don't understand too much the idea on what those 7 billions in the world are gonna do when the robots are coming in more and more. And
Yeah.
I like hospitality just because it's basically in the same word you have the word host. Hospitality, it's someone hosting someone else, and that's basically a people to people business. So my personal opinion on this is technology, it's okay to support human being, but should never be replaced. In my opinion, the hospitality is actually a sector that should be cared by people to people, people at the front. And that's why, the picture Jose took to your place, I know Alberto also took pictures into another bed and breakfast, and we talked a lot about this picture thing. Airbnb, they were sending photographer to take pictures of empty rooms, and it didn't happen until this summer. A guy called Jeremy Magone, I took a course with him, and he was talking about, we are not into the furniture business, we are not IKEA, we're not selling beds and cabinets and stuff. We are into the people to people, so we need to give emotions, because we need to move people into our beds, into our place. We want people to dream, we want people to imagine themselves doing whatever they want to do. So I still believe hospitality, it's about people to people, and I hope technology is going to support but not replace. This is my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. We need to have that people to people connection, and if people don't have it, and that's what people need, they're not going to come back because they don't have it. So it's very, very, very important. But I think if you have human to support it, human touch there with the electronics and the technology, I think it's a win-win situation. You can make the better place better to work with. You're saving money on your revenue. You're not paying out so much. You don't have to deal with the risk of an employee even acting terrible to a guest or stealing from you. So I think the machine is replaceable in a good way like that. But I think that people to people connection definitely needs the human attention. And if you can't have that, people won't come back. So
Yes.
what do you think, Roberto?
I agree with that. It's Alberto. No, I
Alberto,
agree.
yes, Alberto. Um,
Alberto.
Alberto, why don't you touch base on your experience, since you're here now with Oliver? Oliver, we are showing your picture. I hope you don't mind. There was a problem with your camera. You
Yeah.
look very, very tan with your sunglasses and your boat. I know Jose has been in your boat. I haven't been yet.
Yes. Oh yes. He had that was actually on. Yeah, that's actually on my boat. I'm not driving it, but somebody else is. And I'm that guy. I'm that guy right there in that blue shirt with the sunglasses. So that's me. You caught me.
It's nice. It's nice. I also want to come and meet you soon. By the
Yeah.
way, Darnell, our good friend Alberto, is saying visual screens so host can greet remotely. I know Darnell is a big fan of technology, and we've been working with a couple of properties he bought, and he was doing the self check-in with the locker with the code, but also he was a big presence. So if the guest had problem, it was like on call support. He was running to the guest and fixing the problem ASAP. So I think we all are looking at technology to maybe speed up something. You know, in Mondosol, for example, we are very active in guest communication. You probably have seen Alberto and you, Oliver. And we use some templates. We could have used a company called Smart BNB, which use artificial intelligence, and it's basically automatizing the messaging system. You just set up the message to go out a specific time, before the check-in, after the check-in, all this automatic. And also the artificial intelligence is to understand when a potential guest is asking you, do you have a hair dryer? And I try it out, and I decided to not go for it just because it's what I said. Even when I use template, people tell me this is like a robot or it's a real person. And I see the chat. I know Alberto is into chat. Maybe you can talk about that. But I think that still the personal connection, the human mind, it's important into this industry. I think you Oliver were talking about feelings, loving, caring, and it's true. It's not possible yet with a machine.
No, it's not. It doesn't matter how nice or sexy the voice sounds. You're not going to get that human touch, that smile, that handshake, that helping, walking someone to their room, walking them to the elevator, pointing them in directions, helping them with maybe how they log onto the Wi-Fi in your hotel. You know, things like that need human touch. They need the service, the care, and people want to be felt genuinely cared for. And that's what I do here. And people tell me that I am like one of their friends at the hotel, and that's why they come back, because I am so nice to them. I show them efforts. I go out of my...
Sure you are. You're very, very friendly. I just want to say, ciao, mama. My mother is watching us. So she doesn't understand almost anything. I don't know how she does. She's still listening. So thanks. I know also I met your mother on the phone, Oliver. Very lovely, very lovely person. And I haven't met Alberto's mother. Anyway, mothers are perfect host. They used to have kids. I mean, all over the house and friends of the kids. I remember me bringing into my mother's house, and my father, obviously, friends from all over the world. And I remember it was like a hotel, if you see it in a private way. And that's probably the concept Airbnb has taken from it. This idea of people visiting friends and family in someone's private home. And because of necessity and people needed money, then they started to charge, or they started to make it as a business. What do you think about this, Oliver? This home sharing. Do you think you're gonna go over to some private properties and maybe take over, lease? Because there is something in Italy, at least, called condotel, which is basically the new era where those giants are coming into the home sharing. And this is going to be in 2020 and the future. So hotels are basically jumping into home sharing and taking over apartments, villas with their own management, their own team.
Yes. Well, if I had the opportunity to, I would do it. And I wouldn't do it, and I would do it in a home in a nice location with a nice view, and around a lot of things to do, like restaurants or activities. And I would definitely do it. I think it's a great idea. You know, when people go on vacation, they don't want to be tied to a small hotel room. And, you know, people are traveling on budgets sometimes. So if you go in a house that has, let's say, 4 or 5 bedrooms or more, you can have potentially 4 to 5 couples, and you can split that room. And you can, it's affordable for the customer. You are going to get rentals. You are going to make money from it, and I think it's a great way for you to make some extra money. And you can make it fun. You know, you can have your house as a theme. You can decorate it however you want, and you know you're going to attract people. And of course, you want good people, so take that deposit. You know,
Take the deposit. There is Darnell listening. and Darnell, and it was a little bit new to this home sharing this year when he started the course. I remember in the course one of the teacher was teaching us to not ask for any deposit, and I know Darnell, the first guest, they kind of trashed his place, so he had a problem with Airbnb. I think he solved it, but then I said to him, you gotta put a deposit there. It's very important because I've seen it with US, Oliver. I gotta be honest, I haven't experienced as much in Europe as I've experienced in US with the type of guests that they can create problems as well as they're very exigent. So I would say yes, it's important to have a deposit in case things go wrong, and unfortunately things go wrong. So it's better to be prepared than not.
Right.
And what I wanted to ask you was, are you looking to do this condo hotel where basically you're moving forward to the home sharing, taking over some apartments to lease them?
Well, I actually know an owner of a condo hotel on the beach, and it has about 100, maybe 20 rooms. And it's a nightmare because if it's condo hotel, if you're who is in charge of the maintenance, it's two different things. You have HOA, which is like a fee that's charged by the landowner that must collect money every month from a customer or not customer, but a resident living in the building. So that goes into there, and then the maintenance, they're supposed to pay for it. And the hotel side, it's like people don't know if their rooms are rented and they're not making enough money because the hotel is not being truthful about if their room is getting rented. The hotel wants to make money. So I see there's a lot of problems I hear about in it, and I myself wouldn't go into it. I would just have it strictly just hotel. If you really want to sell a unit and have condos, just sell the whole building. It's not worth the headache. It's I see it firsthand. Elio or Alberto, when you come over to Fort Lauderdale Beach, we'll go there. It's right across the street from my place, and I go there because they have a nice tiki bar on the beach. That's the only reason why I go there. But I'm friends with the owner, and he's in a nightmare situation with the building. It's disheveled, it's unkept, and they depend on money from the HOA, and the HOA says, "Oh, we don't have enough money." The HOA is going to paying property taxes and other bills, and they never have money to do repairs. And ultimately, what it is the owner of the land that's pocketing that money and getting by. So that's what I know. Yeah. Okay. Mismanagement. It's just mismanaged.
Mismanaged. Because this is what I see that, for example, Marriott, since you work for Marriott, I know that they are creating their own Airbnb. They call it Marriott Homes. So there was a fight last year with Expedia between Marriott, Hilton, and Expedia, and I think even Booking, mostly Expedia, because Expedia, it's operating with allotment and they want 30-40% discount. And instead, those chains, they wanted to get more direct bookings.
Right.
So what they did into this fight, it was basically to start to create their own marketplace. So Marriott started with Marriott Homes. And I know this even because a couple of years ago, a journalist in Italy in the most important newspaper called me for an interview. Then he wrote an article. In the same article, there was a company called Hostmaker. And now this company in UK, it's a UK company, but it's a little bit around the world. They are the first one to be part of the project of the Marriott Homes. Probably they're going to be acquired by Marriott. And what they are is basically, it's a property management company, like a real estate agency with different offices. They take over property with management or they lease. And then they have their own team for guest management, cleaning, or they hire subcontract. And the interesting thing is those big hotels are coming into the home sharing business, and I see it even in small size. Like I know a girl, very rich, She has 5-star hotels in Italy, in Austria, and Switzerland, and she has also some villas. And now she has really expanded. And basically, what she does, she's taking over more and more villas, luxury villas, and then she used the same hotel teams, the cleaners, the maintenance. It's a very, I see it as a very logic and simple thing, because when the hotels don't manage to regulate, they don't manage to push the politician, to maybe limit this Airbnb professional or Airbnbers to kind of compete with them, or in some cases even destroy the market for them, because they have a lot of taxes, they have to pay employees, while Airbnbers, they can do it on their own without maybe paying all the taxes. So what I'm saying is that hotels, the other thing, when they don't manage to fight against the private property owners, they are trying to get them out of business by acquiring their properties, acquiring or leasing.
Right. I didn't know Marriott was doing that, and I think that's it's good in a way that at least Marriott can manage it, and people can be, successfully have a successful vacation or a trip, whatever they're doing, to be comfortable. Is a lot of those places are, you don't see a person there to make sure everything is right, and I think the personal touch is good in that way. It's a nice concept, though.
It
I
is.
think, yeah.
Yes, it will be very interesting to see. So Darnell, he commented that the first guest cost him about $800 worth of damage, and now it says that they are creating a 5-star experience, I guess, within the airport here in Atlanta. Okay. 5-star executive homestay. They are creating a 5-star executive homestay in the airport of Atlanta. Very interesting, Darnell. Very interesting. Yes, so I think this is getting very interesting. We're getting into a hand of this. Oliver, I gotta say thank you very much for joining today. It's been a real pleasure to be back here, because the Empower show had a break when I was in holiday in Italy. We have done a seminar in Italy. I met a very interesting American investor, American property owner. His name is Nathan, and he was there with me in Sicily. I brought him around. We talked about it, how Mondosol can help in his case, or he can help. There is an episode that he was a guest. So if you want to watch, you just go to YouTube or Facebook and you can see the recording of that. So very nice to have Alberto as well. I know Tsepo has been awesome by chatting and replying to people's comments. I want to close up. I don't know if Oliver and Alberto, you want to say something before I close?
Yeah, sure. Alberto, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go ahead?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. All right, cool. Well, I want to thank you, both Alberto and Elio, for allowing me to share my experience. I hope you learned something new from this, and I hope to be back on this show. I think this is a great way to just talk about the hotel market, the hotel business, the ins and outs of it, because we're both in the the hotel field, so I think we can always chat about it, talk about issues, and let's see if we can rectify or come up with a way we can solve it. Because after all, we're dealing with people and the masses, and we have to please them, and we cannot allow ourselves to go crazy. So I think it's good to talk about it and go ahead with that. I apologize for my camera. I don't know what happened to it, but I blame Apple. Something couldn't finish making my computer right, so I don't know what happened. Thank you very much for allowing me to do this. I hope to come back on here soon and tell you another story.
Yeah, that will be very interesting. That will be very interesting to have you again here soon. Now, Alberto, do you want to say something? I mean, you wanted to talk about your friend the one in Dallas. If you want to say just a couple of things before we
Well,
close.
well, actually, I was just messaging him, and he said he'd be interested in doing this with us as well. Being able to come here, tell his story, talk about his struggles, and about what he's doing. So look out for that. That'll be a future webinar right there.
That's
And I just
great.
want
Shanna Maria, another friend, another family member. So your friend is gonna come over to the show and talks about his experience. Okay, but what's going on with him? Very, very quickly.
Well, right now he has his own rental property. He's working with a partner of his. They're both kind of struggling. They both have to go and take care of it. And they want to scale it. They want to have another property, but at the moment they can barely handle the one. They don't really have a system in place, and he's got other things going on. So I definitely think that having a, how can you say, like a system, a guide, a course, or guidance would really help out, because some people, they're able to have the property, they're able to get things running, but it's just so hard for us just to take down the time to really sit down. It's like, is there a way I can make this easier on myself? Is there a way I can have this to work out and not me constantly having to struggle every day by going to the property, having to give them the keys, come back and forth? Because it's a hassle for some people. It really is.
It is. I see a lot of friends and family here. Stole, thank you very much for watching. Renzo, there are a lot of people coming in and out, and they are watching the recording. So, I mean, thank you very much, Alberto. I'm gonna close this webinar right now, talking about, like you said, the course. So I hope to see you soon with your friend in this webinar, and possibly to help him and to help all other property owners as much as we can. Okay, so to close up, here we are, back again. Like I said, there was a break during the past week or 2 weeks. Thank you very much to the rest of the Mondosol team, Alberto, Jose. We also had Abhinav and Sepo and Electra and Kemi and Nazimuddin and Eduardo. There are many, many people, and we are still looking for many, many more. We're trying to create a movement, so please join us on Facebook on the local partner of Mondosol. It's a free group where basically you introduce yourself as a hospitality service provider. For example, in Oliver's Place, we are looking for people who can clean and can do the check-in and check-out. So join us on the Facebook group. We can help you to get some training, to get certified, and to get amazing property owner where you can work, where you can express your talent, like Oliver, for example, or Darnell, or the friend of Alberto. We are looking for service provider. And what Alberto touched base is also very important. If you are an Airbnbers, if you are someone with one property, two properties, and you're looking for a do-it-yourself course, well, basically Mondosol after 5 years is now launching the first course in the market. We are very slow in the process. We have been scaling this business now for 5 years, and we are at the point where we want to grow internationally. We have done this very organically. We got through referral one by one, people saying, okay, you've been doing a good job, so I'm going to refer you to my friend and family. And what we want to do is basically do the same for the course, for the education industry online, even though Mondosol is an educational company. So at the core, we are an educational company. We have been educating owners, property owners, on how to do this operations or guest management or whatever it is. Like basically you now are listening. We are learning constantly and trying to improve the industry, the hospitality travel industry, try to educate and try to share the knowledge. And what we've been doing now, it's package everything 5 years inside this course, which is going to talk about how to manage a property and acquire a property. So I really invite everyone who is looking for a do-it-yourself solution to look through the link that probably Sepo is going to put, our Diamond Star in South Africa. And you're also gonna find into the Eventbrite.com website the event called Empower Hospitality, and from there you can buy the course. Right now we have a 50% discount. the course is getting more and more packaged with content. We are recording every day. And the other thing is, I want to invite you to the Host 2019 in London. If you haven't already, get your free ticket. Get it right now. Maybe I can get you the VIP, so you don't have to do the queue. And join us in this webinar. If you want to come as a special guest, please let us know. You can private message me or the other Mondosol team. You can contact Mondosol through mondosol.com. We are present in many different channels. If you have a property, you want some help, then we have also scholarship. We have a $25,000 scholarship where basically you can get as many services value $25,000, depending on the property, the revenue that you can generate. We can help you to scale pretty quickly. We can even invest in the property. And the other thing is, for people looking at Mondosol as their vehicle to succeed, to make this a career for them, we are looking to hire winners and talents, people who are hungry. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.